Department of Justice has gotten smart on crime, refocusing efforts on the worst offenders and pursuing mandatory minimum sentences less frequently.
Stabilizer spending is mandatory spending.
Bill only, without legalization. Are you planning to veto that bill? And second, on Fast and Furious, members of Congress and the government of Mexico are still waiting for answers. Are you planning to replace ATF leadership?
The team has mandatory study halls on the road, similarly balanced approach. Cuts in discretionary spending, cuts in mandatory spending, increased revenue. This congressional...
The nations of the world, Costa Rica decreed the free and mandatory access to education, and now we dedicate 7% of our GDP.
So Eric addressed unfair sentencing disparities, reworked mandatory minimums, and promoted alternatives to incarceration. In Georgia, Governor Deal's given judges new alternatives to harsh mandatory minimum sentencing. Under the leadership of Attorney General Eric Holder, now continued by Loretta Lynch, federal prosecutors got what he called smart on crime, which is refocusing efforts on the worst offenders, pursuing mandatory minimum sentences 20% less often than they did the year before.
Primary driver of this mass incarceration phenomenon is our drug laws, our mandatory minimum sentencing around drug laws. And Australia's got mandatory laws.
One is, you've talked about this as low-level drug offenders who got mandatory minimum sentences.